Sun's just coming out, it's 5:20, arrived in Little Haven. Fantastic view from the campsite. Had quite a long journey on the train. Wasn't too eventful. Hard work though, because you had to wear a face mask all the way, but which I hate, but you got to do your bit. So yeah, I've just pitched up. Lovely and peaceful here. I'll go and venture into the village shortly and find a pub and settle in for the evening. So just wandering down to Broadhaven to the shop to go and buy some, well, get some sandwiches for lunch and see if they've got anything for breakfast. If not, I'll go to a cafe in Little Haven a bit later, but it's mostly about getting some sandwiches for lunch. And just to wake myself up a bit, have a walk without the pack for a few seconds. This is Broadhaven Beach, and looking over in that direction towards St David's and all the way around to Ramsey Island. That's hopefully where I'll be walking later on next week. School bus waiting to pick the kids up. I'm just waiting for the only shop in the area to open up. So we're just leaving Little Haven. It's a pretty little village. Oh, it's typical to start a video and somebody starts some noisy machine. Anyway, carry on. There's a view out of the bay. That's where we're going to be heading early next week, over there. And this is where we're heading today, down over that headland into the distance. And first of all, I've got to climb these steps, so that'll be fun. Not taking me half an hour, but we've just come up from Little Haven up the hills up here. As you can see here, I'm out of breath and incredibly sweaty. So we're here in the woods. It's lovely and peaceful. All you can hear is, well, some insects and a few birds and squirrels up in the trees. Nothing to see at the moment, but it's actually quite pleasant walking through here. Nature's larder's open, so we may as well partake of some free refreshment. Not sure I'm going to try a slow, but we'll have a little go. Nah, too bitter. But we'll have the free blackberries anyway. Here we are on the cliff edge. Not saying it's precarious, but much you can see, but it is literally a sheer drop. This is well, the edge of St Bride's, and I've just seen the ideal little country cottage over my shoulder. Not a bad place. Do I suppose, wouldn't it? Just for weekend residents. Here's a video for you, Pete. If you can see over my shoulder. Never thought I'd see a combine down here. A bit far away, unfortunately. But there you go, just one for you. One, I think, Pete. So I'm sat in the pub in Marloes, having just walked from Broadhaven, Little Haven, but I did actually walk to Broadhaven first thing this morning, so I can claim to have walked from Broadhaven. And you know, I know it's only 8 miles, something like that, but 8 miles with £45 on your back, you know it. So it seemed rude not to stop at the pub and have a quick beer. And I'll be back here a bit later on as well, because this is the only place to get any food later. But so I've booked myself in for a table at 7:30. Thoroughly enjoyed today's walk. Really nice coastal path with uphill and down dale and lots of interesting views. Didn't really see, well, I saw one seal under the surface, poked his nose up for about 5 seconds, but apparently I chatted to various people along the path as we were going, and hopefully tomorrow, unless they've moved on, I might get to see quite a load, because there's a load of pups apparently on a beach on the path I'm going to walk tomorrow, so fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm just finish off this beer, and then I'll wander up to the campsite and go and set up for the night, and then end up back here. Anyway, that's it for now, thank you. Guess what? Sun's come out. It's Saturday 4th, day 3. I've just walked climbed my first hill since leaving the campsite this morning, up above Musselwick Sands, which I don't know if you can see below me. Wonderful looking beach. Unfortunately, no way of actually getting to it, not unless you're prepared to climb over some very slippery rocks right at the far end. Where are we? That sort of bit there, you can just about get onto some slippery rocks and walk round, but I wasn't prepared to, especially not with this heavy pack. Better night's sleep last night. I wouldn't say it was a brilliant night's sleep, but it was better. Still no proper breakfast this morning. I grabbed a sandwich in the shop because the cafe wasn't open because of social distancing. Looking forward to a nice meal again later on this evening, hopefully. Anyway, that's it for now. I don't know if you better hear this because it's gone quite windy now, but I'm just stopping for a quick coffee with quite a steep drop beside me. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, the wind's picked up a little bit, and I've had to put a top on just while I'm resting, certainly, because I'll soon cool down. You know what I'm like, I get sweaty and I'm working hard, but as soon as I stop, I'm cooling down in this wind. So anyway, I'm gonna have a quick cup of coffee and a biscuit. This is Martin's Haven. It's where people catch the ferry over to Skomer. Quite pretty, a few people about. I'm going to check out how long it goes there for. You unfortunately can't just get on the ferry, you've got to go and book in somewhere, so I'll go and find out how long it takes and etc. whether I go over or not. This is Wooltack Point. I'm ducked down behind a rock out of the wind, so hopefully you can hear this. And over there is Skomer Island. I'm not going to go over there today, I haven't got time. But yeah, it's quite good views. I mean, not as good as yesterday, it's gone a little bit hazy. There's plenty of people up here wandering around. This part isn't actually on the coast path, and it's a little bit extra to come and have a look at the views. Because of the wind, I don't know if you'll hear this, but first sight of some seals. So a quick update, spot out of the wind, not much speaking because it is so breezy today. Not that it's lovely actually, but it just obviously affects the sound on the camera. But we're just about above what's called Marlois Sands now, and I can see there's lots of people on the beach, so there must be a way down, so hopefully I'll better get down. Very, very windy, so you can hear a damn thing apart from a lot of noise. Lovely, spectacular bay. Don't know if you can hear this, just come up that little bit there where it's very precarious. The path is tumbling down the cliff, so you got your heart in your mouth as you come up that little bit. It goes all the way down there into the sea. Sunday morning, it's probably about 8:45 now actually. I had quite a good night's sleep, bit of a lie-in. Got an easy day today because I'm staying in the same campsite tonight, so I don't need to carry everything in my pack. So I'm going to walk around the Dale Peninsula, which would be about just about 10 miles, but obviously without all the heavy pack that'll be a relatively easy thing to do. So I'm taking my time and plodding. Hopefully I can pop down the village and get something to eat before I head off. Right, as you can hear, hopefully you can hear I'm out of breath. I've just done my first climb back on the path after a fat boy's cooked breakfast. That's the first one of this trip so far, the cooked breakfast that is, and very nice it was. Now overlooking a gorgeous beach. I show it over my shoulder. Pretty impressive. One thing about this path, there is loads and loads of butterflies. Moths. I'm not very good on telling the difference between the two. This one's decided to wrap its wings up now, but hopefully you can see them. Yeah, loads and loads of them. So I'm just having a little rest for 5 minutes, right on top. Well, flat piece of ground, to be honest with you. You can see for, well, you would be able to see for miles. It's a little bit hazy today, but still. And as the sun is out, I've got a chance to use my solar charger on the rucksack. So a bit of free electric as well. You certainly see some interesting rock formations around here. I mean, I'm no geologist, but pretty spectacular how all that was formed millions and billions of years ago, I'm assuming. You know what I was saying about geology? It's pretty impressive, isn't it? This is Cobbler's Hob, apparently, which is right on the promontory, the entrance to Milford Haven, and right above that is the Coast Guard lookout point, and then a bit further round Trinity Lighthouse and helipad. Gorgeous views. So we are walking from Dale back to Marloes, so I can catch a bus from there to Broadhaven and then get back on the coast path. It's been a couple of stiff climbs already. It's all road walking at the moment, but lovely and peaceful. Sat now waiting for the bus to Marloes, to Broadhaven from Marloes. Just had a nice cup of coffee and a sausage roll from the shop. Just wanted to chat a little bit about the farm I stayed at last night. It was run by, I think it was the Welsh equivalent of Gerald. I couldn't understand a word of what he said. I thought initially it was because he was Welsh speaking, but I heard him chatting to his family later and they spoke in English, so I think he was just a bit of a local, and the farm itself was a bit of a tatty old dump. His version of cleaning out the toilet facilities and showers was just to get a jet wash and just blast it out. No chemicals, no cleaning, no wiping around the bowls or anything like that. just a jet wash, and then he didn't bother mopping it out to dry it out. So as soon as anybody walked in, it was swimming in water and it just got filthy and dirty again. Anyway, that was a little moan, but it was only £7.50 a night, so what do you expect, I suppose. But it was lovely and peaceful up there. It's quite a nice walk from that farm to Marlows village. Quiet country lanes, I think only about 3 cars past me. Quite tough going actually, a few steep hills. Packs weighing a ton again this morning, so definitely in the future I'm going to have to think about lightening the load somehow if I want to do some serious mileage. Anyway, hopefully the bus will be along shortly, and then I'll be able to start the walk again properly. Back on the coast path, the sun is shining, the solar charger is on, there's Broadhaven Beach behind me, and onwards. So I've just come round the headland from Broadhaven. Here's the path that we're going up, and in the distance, I don't know if you can see it, where there's some white buildings. I think that's the end of Newgale Beach, and that's where we're heading today. This is Druidston. Just walked down from that hill. Some hotel apparently, that place. With its own virtual private beach. It isn't private, but this car park's all for hotel visitors. So. This is Druidston Haven Beach. Now that's what you call a tent. I'm not sure you can fit it into my backpack now. This is Knowlton Haven, where down there I believe there's a pub with a pipe with my name on it. What a disaster. Pub's not open on a Monday. Knowlton Haven. Some more spectacular geology. Just come from there to this little corner here, and there's that fantastic bit of rock. And now I've got this beach to climb. Blowing out of my arse. Over my shoulder is tonight's destination. Somewhere about there. Newgale. There's Newgale Beach in all its glory. Apparently it's a haven for surfers, but today the sea's pretty flat calm, so I can't imagine there's any out there, but nevertheless, stunningly pretty. Sometimes this path can be a bastard. You come from up there where that gorgeous view was, and it leads you into believing you're heading down to the beach. And then you get to the bottom and there's a sign saying path closed because it's fallen into the sea. And so you've got to climb all the way back up. Isle Sands. Huge beach, goes on for miles. Tide goes out fair old way. And we're going to walk along the actual beach. It's what you call a coast path. This is the campsite at Newgale. It's a pretty big place, pretty popular as well. It's not surprising considering the weather. I don't know if you can hear me, it's early morning. I've packed up camp, I'm just waiting for the on-site cafe to start cooking up some food. So I thought I'd come down the beach and look at the wonderful breakers as the tide's right in. Pretty impressive sight. That's where we're heading in a minute, the path up there, and then we're going to go all the way around as far as the eye can see. Somewhere in the distance over there is Kaibai Bay for St David's. Just had a bacon sarnie. This is a goodbye to Newgale Beach, and unfortunately that's just what you don't want first thing in the morning. Bloody steep. Just about got my breath back from that hill. So as we go right down the bottom and then back up to the top again. And another set of blooming steps. Steps up here. There's a load of chuff. And they're up there, they all go. Pretty sure they're chuff, they've got red beaks. As you can hear, this is a bit breezy, but another fantastic bit of coastal scenery. And there's the path. We're about to round the headland and say goodbye for the time being, certainly to Newgale Beach, which is down there. Lovely, glorious, clear, sunny day again. It's not a bad spot to anchor up for the night. I just stopped here for a coffee. Quite an aerial display. I don't know whether this will pick any of them up. I'm not even sure what birds they are, swifts or something along those lines, but as per usual there's not much going on now. But they're putting on quite a display. See if any more. Some of them have come in real close. That's Newgale Beach in the distance, where we've walked this morning. Over there. I just abandoned my pack. Let's go and have a wander here. Because you get some pretty spectacular views. There's the village of Solva in the distance, which is where where I'm heading for lunch. Supposed to be one of the prettiest villages on the coastal path. And then in the distance, where you can see it should be, I think that's St David's over there, roughly where I'm aiming for tonight. Got a nice pleasant little walk in a wooded area, out of the shade, in the shade of the sun. It's quite pleasant on a day like today. And in the distance, through the trees, you can't really see, is a pub, which will cost a pub. Done much filming recently. It's just been too hot and I've been too out of breath, sweating like a pig. It's a boiling hot day, but rather this than pissing down rain. That would have made a great little spot for wild camping. Too early in the day, I'm afraid, but certainly stunning location. Little handy stream next to you, beach to go and wash and swim in. When I record myself like this, having just climbed up a big steep hill from the bottom down there, I don't feel so guilty in the evening when I have a couple of pints. Some people might say if I didn't have the pints, I wouldn't be so out of breath, but hey ho, you can't have everything. Lovely little spot here, nearly at my destination, but I am flagging a bit today in the heat, and I forgot to put, or didn't have any clean socks to put on this morning, so I've already got one little blister on my little toe of my right foot, but my other feet were starting to get a bit hot and uncomfortable, so I'm just going to rest them for a few minutes before we have the final ascent. And then over that headland, probably about another 3/4 mile, is a campsite. Day off from the coast path today. I'm going to sample a bit of city life. Well, I say city, St David's. Pretty poor night's sleep last night. The wind howling, rattling the tent. Listen to the sound of the rain hammering on the tent. It's 9:15 Thursday. I don't know what date it is, but it's the 8th day of this trip back on the path. It's not the nicest of days, although it's just starting to clear up a little bit, I think. So I've got all the wet weather gear and probably end up having to take it off in a minute because it'll be far too hot and sweaty. We've had a fair bit of rain overnight, but path doesn't look too bad at the moment, so we'll see how we get on. So this is the direction I'm going to be heading today. Obviously the views are not as great as they were in the last few days, but anyway, a bit of light drizzle at the moment, not too bad. Cope with that. There's the campsite I stayed at last couple of nights. Behind that white van in the middle there, I was behind that basically. Quite a peaceful place. All the facilities. Kai Bay Caravan and Camping Site or something it's called. And it was only £8 a night, so that was pretty good for all the facilities they had, considering what I paid, £7.50 for that dump at Dale. So yeah, not too bad at all. Bit more interesting geology. You might be able to see the rain's now starting to come down. This is Porthgain, I think it's how you spell it, or pronounce it, in the rain. I think there might be a place and grab a coffee with a bit of luck. This is Porthgain Bay. At least it's stopped raining now, even if you can't see very much. The path goes back up there. In parts this path is treacherous. It's wet, slimy rock, jaggedy. I've got too much weight in my pack. It's so easy to go over. Thank God I've got the poles. Some of these colours are pretty spectacular. There's a seal poking his head up. Hello, Mr. Seal. So over there, as you can see, is Ramsey Island. Yes, precisely. Hopefully this mist will lift, because you can see bugger all. This is St Justinian's, where St David's lifeboat station is, and the old one in the distance. And they very thankfully built a nice little shack so I can have some lunch there. This is, say, St Justinian's or St David's lifeboat station. The new one in the background, the old one in the foreground. Such a pity it's misty. The sun is thinking about making an appearance, but it hasn't actually made one yet. But let's just hope it does. Some more interesting geology. This is White Sands Bay, and the aim of the day is to go down to that corner there, where I believe there's a campsite somewhere up there. This, that was White Sands Beach. I was going to stay down there. The campsite is a little more thin strip of land where they've crammed as many camper vans in as possible, so that all you'd get would be like 6 foot, I think, and it's on a slope, and they wanted 10 quid a night plus a quid for showers. I thought, bollocks, I'm not paying that, not for the facilities. So I've had some chips and the sausages in the cafe down there. It was about to close, and now I'm going to head out into the wilds and see if I can find somewhere to hide and camp for the night. Up here in the mist, some wild ponies. The mist's just starting to clear, so that's Ramsey Island in the distance there. A tiny patch of blue sky, but how long that'll last, I don't know. Mist has finally lifted, so we've got 1 or 2 views and vistas to look at. And there's a strange optic in the sky. It's typical when misty, nobody's been able to see anything all day, and now I want to be obscure and find somewhere to wild camp. Of course the mist has lifted, but anyway, it doesn't matter. This is Pembrokeshire Head, looking over sort of Porthgain and sort of north. Okay, it's 7:20 on Friday morning, day 9. This is the spot we camped at last night. We've packed up nice and early so that we don't get discovered, because although it seemed very remote when I came and found it last night, in actual fact there's a farm literally about a quarter of a mile up the road, so it won't be long before Farmer Giles is coming to investigate. We had quite a lot of rain overnight, and there's lots of long grass on this path, which is making my boots soaking wet on the outside. At the moment they're still dry on the inside. Let's just hope it stays that way. Going dropping down into Aberpush, and then you've got to climb all the way back up again. Just not feeling it this morning. I had a little thing of porridge, but that ain't enough. My feet are now soaking wet. Blisters from yesterday are starting to play up, and I have to say I don't like the looks of that there, because that looks like wet rock. That's where I camped, behind that mountain last night. And I've just missed the bus. I wasn't sure, because they had the winter timetable up, which is out of date. So I wasn't sure when it was coming. There's no internet signal. I waited for a few minutes, but then I desperately needed a poo, so I had to go to the public lab, and by the time I came out the bus was at the bus stop, and that's me missed him. Never mind. This is Porthgain.